What's going on, guys? It's Django, and I brought a ton of new rigs to the data center with me. I also brought my brother with me because I have a ton of work to do if we're gonna get all these rigs online. First thing we gotta do is shut the rigs off, and I gotta finish replacing all of the fans in the Mystic cases. We got about 1/3 left of the cases to do, and the reason I'm doing this is because the stock fans are absolute garbage. They break randomly. I always have 1 or 2 cases that have fans out, and sometimes I have to shut off a whole rig for one fan because I got like 2 cards just absolutely roasting in there, and I had to shut the rig off because I don't want to ruin the cards, and so that really pisses me off. So I need to do this a long time ago, finally getting it done, going through every single case, taking all those fans out. And this took so long. Total, it took like 3 days of just replacing fans and cleaning them. You're only seeing about 1/3 of it in this video. And I didn't even film all of it either. A lot of it I didn't even film because it just takes way too long, way too tedious, and it absolutely sucked. But you know what doesn't suck? This video.
Program it yourself. Get an expert directly at the marketplace. Run the job and be impressed by the fast result.
Huge shout out to Dynex for sponsoring the video. We'll talk more about Dynex and what I'm mining in my next video. But let's get back to getting this farm operational. So right here, I'm gonna have my brother bring in all the open frames into the main mining area. I'm just having him do this while I finish cutting out the wood for the shelving. And the reason I like to cut out wood and put on the shelf here is just because it makes everything more stable. Like these racking, they have like just a wire mesh that goes on top. When you add a lot of weight to it, it starts to bow in a little bit. It can handle the weight. It's just, I like everything level and flush, and the wood just makes I don't want to come back here and these rigs have just like fallen off or something, you know what I mean? So I'm just doing it right. Here I just got a couple extra cards. I think I have like 3 or 4 extra cards just laying around, and so I'm just pulling 1 or 2 rigs out and adding the extra cards in. You know, I gotta maximize the hash rate of these bad boys. And then, so yeah, we started putting, once I got the shelves done, I started putting the octominers up top. I just figured put them in the middle. I don't know, because I have a bunch more Mystic cases. I think I can fit on that far side. Yeah, I'm putting a bunch of extra over here. I still have a couple of extra rigs in the back too. I think I have enough to fill out this entire top shelf with Mystic cases and octominers, so it's looking really nice. You can kind of see here's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to organize these PDUs and cables. I have a row of outlets like in the back and in the front, and so my plan was to take the row of outlets in the front and use all of those for the bottom shelf, and then the outlets that are right above me right here are the ones I'm going to use for the top shelf. And I kind of took some time here to try and figure out how I was going to cable manage this. You know, cable management is pretty low priority on my list right now. I got a lot of other stuff to do, got a lot of other rigs to get on, but I wanted to manage this just so I could see, like, I'm trying to plan out like how many rigs can actually fit here. It would suck to do this and then realize, oh, I can't actually put this many rigs here. So, because all the PDUs you're seeing here, this is all for that bottom shelf on the very first row. So that very first, those 10 rigs, that's it. There's 5 PDUs for the bottom, that one section. So I kind of figured it out. I think that I'm gonna mount the PDUs to the rack, and then I'm gonna mount a bunch of PDUs to the wire, you know, the metal brackets that are going along the ceiling there. And so that's kind of what I was figuring out with organizing the cables. And here, we're gonna start setting these open frames up into stacks of 4. I really like that because a stack of 4 is 1 PDU. You know, I can easily do 1200 watts or 1500 watts per rig in that range with 4 on a single 30 amp plug. And we're just picking up rigs from every which location because I've never had my rigs in order before, right? So it's like rig number 3 is next to number 17, and then that would go to, maybe that one goes to 18, and then it goes all the way up to like 42, and then it goes back down to 11. So it's kind of hard to find rigs sometimes just because they're always out of order. So we're kind of going through, and then I've also been this is where I was lazy right here, right? They're really dusty, and I didn't want to blow them off into the room because I just cleaned in here. And so I'm just putting the rigs in front of the fan here, and I'm using the air compressor to blow the dust off them. And so not too proud of this, honestly, because I don't want dust being blown into my fan. It's just not a good idea. And also, yeah, it's just, I don't know. I've been working on this data center, like this, getting my rig, this farm up and going since October. And it's December now. It's almost 2024, and I still don't have 100% up and running. I've been 100% up and running since freaking the beginning of the year, like March. So this is since Kaspa was able to be mined. In fact, when I was going through a lot of these rigs, a lot of the group config that was on them was Kaspa. I can't even believe, it's unbelievable. That's how long ago that these rigs were up and running. So yeah, I cut corners at the end here. At the beginning, I was going solid, but at the end here, I'm like, I'm gonna blow them off with the air compressor. And I know a lot of you guys don't like using air compressors on computers or your mining rigs, but I've never had a problem with that. I've been doing it for 4 years. And so it's like, I'll just do whatever I want on my rigs. You do whatever you want on yours. I don't know. I don't see the big deal. I know there's moisture in the air compressor, but it's never been a problem for me. But yeah, anyway, moving on. So we start organizing these rigs here. I'm trying to figure out, like, I have way more open frames than I actually thought I did. I kind of condensed a bunch. I brought 12 new rigs down with me at the beginning of the video. That's what we brought down with us here. And man, I thought I had like a full free row, but I don't, not even close. Like, I am pretty much maxed out right now. In fact, I'm not accepting any new rigs because I think I maxed out my building here. So I'm gonna need a new building. And I mean, there's no way I can run through the summer like this. My cooling system is working good for now. It's not complete, obviously. I just wanted to get the rigs online, but I still want to build some hot cold aisles. I need to improve. I need more fans, I think, honestly, more just airflow in the room. I might flip those orange fans on. They're not on right now. I'm trying to figure it all out. But my priority right now is to get all of the open frames into cases. Oh, real quick, I figured out that I had to flip the Octominers upside down. Not upside down, so that the power supplies are on the top, because all the PDUs are going to be up on the ceiling. So I just need to flip those real quick. And so I had my brother here help me do that since he's down here with me, because that's going to be a problem. I'm not going to be able to flip those by myself. Here we're bringing in the new rigs right now. My brother Dallas is going to go ahead and swap some of the power supplies out and go through and make sure that they're all working properly. Yeah, I mean, my number one priority right now is going to be getting cases, because the cases are going to help so much with the heat. And also, it's going to help with the management, because right now I have so many rigs that are having issues. I didn't bother with any cable management. We're going through and just kind of plugging them in, just getting them on. And I was only able to get like 50 to 60% of these rigs even on, because so many of them are having problems. Like, some of them like have a problem where like they don't even boot. Others are more complex, where they're like constantly restarting, so they restart like 100 times. Others are like, you know, a fan or two has a broken fan. Some of the GPUs need to be repasted. There's a ton of issues like that. So only about 50% of the open frames are even on right now. So that's a huge problem, a huge headache. You know, I mean, some rigs, the cards don't show, not all the cards are showing up, you know, riser problems. I just got to go through every single one of them individually to get them on and running, and that sucks. So yeah, here's what my brother's gonna do. We're pulling out the power supplies and putting in my cheap Chinese power supplies. And normally I wouldn't recommend doing this, but the Chinese power supplies I have are amazing. I don't know what it is. I got like a really good batch of them. I bought them like 2 years ago. I bought like 300 of them in bulk. And they've been using them for years, and I don't have any problems. Like, I actually have more EVGA power supply failures than I do with my Chinese power supply failures. So yeah, he's out there swapping those, making sure that there's no cable splitters, because some of the rigs had cable splitters, and I don't like those. They tend to melt, and I don't have any issues down here. So he's doing that while I kind of mount up the PDUs on the ceiling. You can kind of see here, it's like a rat's nest up there right now, because like I said, not doing any cable management. I'm probably going to end up having to move a lot of this stuff, especially on the open frames. I think I'm going to put another rack in and get some cases and try and get because out of the 4 rows, I'm going to try and get 2 rows into cases immediately. I I don't know. I'm trying to, all this is gonna cost a lot of money. The cases are gonna cost a lot of money. I still gotta put several more $1,000s into my cooling. I gotta build some hot cold aisles. I gotta rebuild the filtering system because the filter system I built is not gonna work out very well. But here's a video of the finished product. Yeah, as you can see, it's pretty loud in here. It's way louder than it's ever been. I don't know what it is. It's just the fans, maybe the exhaust fans are really loud, and also maybe it's got, I don't know, maybe it's been too long. Maybe it's been so long since they've all been running that I just forgot how loud it is. But it's like a nice steady 85 decibels in the room. Like right where I'm standing right here, it's about 85 decibels. So kind of loud now. So I have to. I usually have noise canceling headphones I wear. But you can see the last aisle here, the one against the wall, it's so thin. Look how much room I have. Like there's barely any room here compared to the other aisles. So this isn't gonna work. Like I'm gonna need to get rid of these open frames ASAP, because right now during the winter time it's all right, but in a couple months it's gonna be too hot. It already is kind of hot. Like I said, only 50% of these are even running. So you see how wide this aisle is. That's where I would like them to be, but yeah, I'm gonna get rid of these open frames. That's what I'm doing next. Working on it, trying to find a good deal, trying to find a good supplier. I would like to get octa miners, but they're expensive. I don't think I'll be able to put everything into octa miners. But yeah, here's the farm. That's what I did for the past 10 days, all compressed down into 11 minutes. Be sure to like and subscribe.